Hi, everybody. Welcome to Queers and Soaps. I'm Tommy, and tonight I'm joined by Eric,
Woof.
or Breeze, we think his name is, the dog.
We think the dog, Augusta's dog, freeze.
Tonight we're talking about Santa Barbara, episodes 11 through 15. So I'll roll the credits and we'll get right into it. So last we left off, Joe had broken into the Capitol Mansion. And all he did was put the key in Channing's bedroom's door's lock, and it set the alarm off. So he hides in a hallway closet. Kelly comes out to
No,
see like what's going on. She doesn't see anything. The
nobody
one,
thinks to look in the hallway closet, which
right?
is kind of funny.
Um, the one, I guess he's like the Joseph of this show, the major domo. He's there also, and he says he's gonna check to see if there's anybody downstairs.
Right.
She goes back in her bedroom. I know, because like, okay, so they're all home, right? And I feel like they should know, like, if you're in the house, the alarm shouldn't be set because it'll go off if anybody walks in it. So I feel like they should know that alarm is specific to that room. So they should know
Right.
they're in vicinity of that door.
Yeah, I'm guessing the Capwells aren't that bright. Rich, but not bright.
Or I'm putting real world logic into a soap opera.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes I do the same thing, and then I'm like, oh, what's wrong with me? I gotta just go with it.
Like, I just did a Port Charles episode with Angel yesterday, and it's
Mhm.
2001, and they're in the middle of nowhere, and they grab somebody's laptop, and they just started like researching, well, we'll say Google. I don't know if they were actually Googling stuff. And I went, Wi-Fi wasn't a thing back then. You needed broadband. I'm like, you couldn't just like take a laptop and go on the internet.
Yeah, right.
So again, real
Yeah, you
world.
needed connection. Yeah.
Yeah. They were like, "Ooh, laptop. Well, let's research this." And I'm like, no, that's not how
Yeah.
that works.
Most
um,
rich people had Wi-Fi in 2001. I don't know how it worked.
no, back then the new thing was like broadband. It was like the fastest
Broadband.
internet
Right,
versus
but it still had to
dial-up.
be connected to your phone, right?
Um, it was like it was faster than dial-up. I guess you were like always connected to the internet.
Right.
No,
Oh, okay.
I don't think there was wireless devices yet. I don't think Bluetooth was a
Oh,
thing yet.
okay.
Somebody will correct us if we're wrong.
I'm sure.
um, so what's his name? Joe. Joe manages to sneak out through the window that he crawled through and
Yeah.
climb over the brick wall that I guess he climbed over to get onto the property.
Hmm.
Which made me think, is this how he used to visit Kelly when they were together? Because
I'm
he seems like
guessing
he's done this
so.
before.
Yeah. I'm sure he has. Joe has many layers in this through this week. I noticed.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
so he gets out safe. He calls Dominic pissed off. And
Yeah.
Dominic says he'll see what he could do. I'm saying he sarcastically. Um,
Yeah.
as far as getting the alarm disabled so he could try again.
Yep.
Meanwhile, I guess we should talk about his sister Jade. She gets on my
Yeah.
nerves.
I don't know why. And you know what? When you talk about her, like you light up. I
I
noticed that
light
the last
up.
time. Yeah, like in the way you were talking about them last time, you're like laughing at their stuff, and I'm like, I think you're closet liking this.
No, I don't. I hate her
I don't
because
know why.
I don't like how she strings Danny along. I feel like she's very selfish. I don't like her.
I think she's a strong, independent young female. I don't know. I see her
I think
very differently.
I think she's selfish and self-absorbed.
Well, I would say like 60%.
60%. Um, so she's annoyed because she thinks she doesn't look the part to get any acting roles.
Yeah.
She hates her clothes, she hates her hair. Danny actually makes her feel good about herself. She tries on all these different outfits and she ends up back in the first outfit that she was wearing.
Yep.
At one point, she bought a wig, a blonder wig, and like she bought fake like chicken cutlets to make her boobs look bigger.
Yeah, that was funny.
Um, but she makes a phone call from a payphone, and I think she called Lakin.
Yeah.
Yeah, she called Lakin to like tell her what was going on. And this skeezy guy like was trying to like pimp her out. He was like,
Seymour. Wasn't it Seymour?
"Oh, I didn't take note of his name." I was just like, "Oh, this guy wants to make her a prostitute." I could tell.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Because one of the other girls said he's losing his touch when she ran out of there. So I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, he's definitely a pimp.
Yep.
And then when she was on one of her other editions, this producer or this guy that knows a producer who makes French films, I was like, that's code for porn. He wants her to pay
Yeah.
porn. I know it.
That's what I'm like. Yeah, is that porn? And I guess that scouting agent was like, in with the girls trying out just to kind of get them going to the porn side.
I also feel like with Jade, because I know she's not a long term character, like I don't want to invest in her. So that's why I kind of like, whatever with her.
I
Ted,
don't
I
know.
like
It's
because I know
weird.
he stays on for many years.
It's so funny. That's a weird way to look at things.
Well, okay, because like think about it. Like the reason why I like soap opera is because I like long story. I like to invest in characters. If I know they're going to be gone in a year, then I don't care. Like, why am I wasting my time investing in you?
Well, how do you know if you didn't even watch it yet, though? Like
Because I
somebody
know she
told
ends
you?
up on Days of Our Lives in 1985.
Yeah, but isn't there a Jade recast?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think
Well,
so.
that's what it,
Or maybe.
Jade could be a long parrot. We don't know. And nobody tell us. I don't want to know. I want to be surprised.
um, we did get confirmation that there is another sister. I think I took note of
Mm,
that. Because I think oh, Joe's mom mentioned Sister Amy. That's what I said.
yeah,
I don't know if she ever becomes a character because that family doesn't really stick around too long.
right,
Um, we meet Cruz finally after mentioning him for a few episodes.
right. And I understand why everybody loves them. Everybody in the show loves them, and I know all the fans love them, and I
He's
love them. And I just think A. Martinez has just like that look about him. He just looks like a good guy.
he arrives at the oil rig explosion and is trying to get things under control so that there's not a huge oil leak, I guess.
Yep.
Um, basically putting his life in danger. And they think that he got hurt or is lost in the explosion, and he just like shows up at the Capitol Mansion, like fixed it.
Yeah. All
And
done.
Santana and him seem to have this thing, or Santana might have a
Mhm.
thing for him. I don't know. He
I
kissed
think
her hand.
everybody does. I think everybody does.
Has a thing for
Everybody's like
Santana or
crushing
for
on.
Cruz?
No, I think everybody's crushing on Cruz.
Oh,
Like that's what it seems like.
well, it seems that their families were close, and Cruz used to hang out at her house a lot.
But Kelly's close to Cruz. It looks like Tony, she liked Cruz. Like everybody's
Joe.
very into Cruz. Joe, they were apparently really good friends.
Hmm.
Um, yeah,
Joe gets a
I
visit
like
from like
Cruz.
an old classmate who is really weird. Like she was nice, but, like I don't know. I feel like she had a crush on him maybe in high school.
I feel like this was weird. It's just like I felt like it came out of nowhere and it was just like now she's gone. I'm like, is that gonna come of something or
Right.
was it just kind of like to point out like nobody's giving him a job still? Like, I don't know.
She's like, "You need a job? I'll get you a job as like a dishwasher."
Yeah.
And then I think it was Augusta, right, that made a phone call and was like basically like threaten the owner so that he won't give him a job.
Yeah.
I can't get a read on Augusta. I don't know what her end
Me
game
neither.
is
I have no idea.
with Joe. Like, because I feel like she likes him and she's trying to help him, but then she does sneaky things behind his back.
They are hot. I was like, I wanted that to happen. What happened in the last episode? I was like, let's go. But I wasn't sure if it was like a fantasy because I'm like, because the way it happened, and I'm like, is this? That's why I said like there's multi layers to Joe because I didn't see that coming. I thought he was always like, oh, this woman's always macking on me, and then they, I'm like, all right,
Well, that was at the end. We'll get to that.
right. Well, you said Jade, the Jade thing was in the end too.
It was kind of scattered throughout the week.
Um, I just watched this last episode, and it was the French guy.
Well, I didn't talk about Peaches.
She's coming.
um, so there's like this mugger that runs through the front door and like robs this older woman that I guess lives upstairs from
Yeah,
Jade and Ted and Danny.
Three's Company.
And when Ted and Danny come out, he runs up the stairs instead of out the door. So they like chase him up the stairs,
I guess he panicked.
I
Didn't
guess.
know what to do.
So they catch him, the cops come, and they arrest him, and Peach just wants to repay them. Oh, and Lakin had come to visit. At this point, she had made a deal with her mother that she would only go for the day,
Yeah.
and she would be back by sunset. And then Peaches wanted to repay them, so she helped Ted and Lakin by making a phone call and speaking to Augusta, saying that she had a daughter that they made like fast friends, and she wants to spend the night, and it's all on the up and up.
Yeah.
Peaches apparently used to be a fangirl, like she's the fan dance.
So was Lakin supposed to just stay there and then Ted stayed there too? Is that like how it worked out? Because I missed it. Because that remember Danny and Jade the next day were like, oh, Ted never came back, and they were like, ooh.
Hmm.
I thought they were Ted and Lakin were supposed to stay over at Peaches, but I guess it was just Lakin maybe.
I thought so too. Maybe they were just supposed to hang out there and then go back to the apartment.
Yeah,
And they fell asleep.
and then they fell asleep.
Yeah, they're cute. I'm actually they're growing on me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of annoying though. I don't like they're like, oh, call me later, call me now. I mean, that was very high school, which I guess they are that age, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
But
um, who else? So Santana is like taking it. Oh, she found out that the PI she hired is double dealing and working for CC. So she calls him out on it and she wants a refund.
yeah, that happened quick. I thought it was going to be like a long drawn out thing where he like circled her around or whatever. But yeah, and then like she told Cece that she knew about it and all that stuff, and I'm like, okay, they worked that out quick.
And she was supposed to have some kind of contract with CC to deck. Apparently, she's an interior decorator. I guess for this party that they were setting up. There's always a party at this mansion.
And what was this party? It looked like there was all the flags of the world there.
Yeah, I don't know
Like
what that was. And CC didn't want her. He wouldn't sign the contract, and she was like, "I can put my personal feelings aside for business." And she's like, "If you'd
right.
like me to put one of my associates on the job, I could do that." And CC just kind of like is like trying to pretend to be an adult about it, so he signs the contract. And then midweek, she kind of takes a different approach, and she's trying to like mend fences with CC and pretend like everything's all good, and she's dropping it. And that was silly of me to look for my child that you took from me.
I feel like it's like too late for her though. Like Cece's like, I don't think so. Like he
Yeah,
doesn't seem like he's onto it
she
yet.
even tries to get her mom to like take a picture of the baby from him so she could like make a copy. And the
Yeah.
mom's like, I can't betray his trust like that. And I'm like, she's like, it's your grandson.
Yeah, like when you're cleaning, look in a couple drawers, see what you can find. Like what the
Right.
fuck?
She's like, he trusts me. I can't betray his trust. And I'm like, okay,
I'm
fine.
like your blood daughter, your daughter, like what the fuck? I don't know. I'm not a fan of her parents.
Oh, I like Rosa. I don't agree with what she said in that circumstance, but I like her.
I'll like her if she's team daughter. I feel like she would pick Cece over her daughter.
um, they played a Joe and Kelly song less this week. I
They
think we only
did.
kind of heard the instrumental more than
I
the
think
actual song.
I put times something, times two or three, because it was like the same. It's funny too, because like it'll start out just them talking. They say the same shit over and over again. It's the same exact dialogue. I love you. I don't want to hear it. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Cue music, and then the same thing the next scene. Cue music. I'm like, come on, dude. Like, why did they meet up? It was like to be annoying. It wasn't to like do anything.
Yeah, they each got a telegram to meet at some like horse stable. And Kelly thinks it's for this horse that became available that she's gonna buy for it to surprise Cece. So she goes, and I don't know why Joe. I think Joe like thinks that Dominic set it up.
Well, yeah. Well, he got the note too, didn't he get one from
Yeah,
Dominic?
they
But I
each
don't
got like a
know.
telegram.
Yeah.
Um, and
So he didn't really know
Kelly
why,
thinks that it was all set up, and he like shows her
which it
his
was.
telegram, and she's like, "I don't believe you." Like, but Tony does. Her
Yeah.
best friend, Renee Jones, believes him, and
Yeah.
they were supposed to have dinner, and she told Kelly, and Kelly was like against it. She's like, "We're probably going to talk about you and how much he still loves you."
Yeah, Kelly didn't seem to care. She said like she's like, I don't care what you say, but like I just don't care. Like,
She's like, "I don't want to hear
that's
about it."
it. Right, I don't want to hear about it.
Yeah. So little thing I found out: the actor that's currently playing Cece, Mark Richmond,
Hmm.
he leaves by September 12th. This show
So we're
started
in
July
August.
30th, so he's only in like maybe 30, 35 episodes before they
Uh,
recast.
he's really good too. I like him. I
Yeah.
mean, I like that actor, so
And then
but I'm sure I'll like the next one.
there's like an in-between actor for a couple of months, and then there's like another actor that plays him for 2 years before Jed Allen takes over for the
Mm.
rest.
I'm sure I'll like them all. I mean, whatever. I'm
Yeah.
pretty
I was
even
just
with it like
surprised that
that.
he was recast so quickly because he's like a known actor.
I'm
But
thinking,
now also knowing
remember,
that he wasn't the original, like the actor that plays Cecil Colby was in the promos.
well, that's what I'm thinking. I think it had to do with that probably. Maybe he was only because remember it was like last minute he was pulled in. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking he probably couldn't do because yeah, he was still doing Dynasty, I think, during that time. He was on I think at least like 7 or 8 seasons
Oh,
of
really?
Dynasty. Yeah, he sticks around. But like and I feel like and that was right before like Primetime came back on. So
Yeah.
I'm guessing he was like, I'll do it until, I got my other gig. But
This
you
was
know,
his summer job. He's like, I'll do this for the
yeah, it was a
summer, but
summer
then I gotta go
job.
back to Dynasty.
Yeah, because well, remember it was very last minute because you said or Cecil Kobe was supposed to be him, and then
Hmm.
he had a heart attack like right before. So
Yeah.
yeah, he was like the emergency, guy.
Recast.
Yeah.
Hmm. Well, thank God none of the actors are actually in the opening credits. They would have changed that really quick.
Oh my God, right? All the time they'd be like, "Who's this? Who's this? Who's
Yeah.
this?"
um. So apparently, Peter and Augusta had a thing at some point. Like she slept with him, so he would pass. Um. What's his name? Warren. Her son in calculus. That at least
Yeah.
that's what was implied. They kind of like danced around it.
Hmm. I like it. I guess I'm guessing her husband is just an asshole or something because she always seems to cheat on him or wants to cheat on him.
And she says she's gonna help him get Joe out of Santa Barbara. And I think she wants his help, or she's gonna reveal their affair to everybody and that his affairs
No,
with
she
other
wants
women.
money.
Yeah, she wants money.
She
She wants
wants,
$100,000.
yeah, she wants $100,000,
Hmm.
but because he wants her help to get him out, so that's what he has to do is pay the money.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah.
and this is what I don't get like with Augusta. Like I'm like I can't tell. Like you want to bang Joe and like I don't know. I don't know what to think of her.
Well, if we think back to the beginning when they weren't showing her face and she was flicking her red
Right.
nails off, she didn't want him back in Santa Barbara. But now
That's
I'm like, did you see him? And you were like, oh, I could fuck him, so maybe I do want him in Santa Barbara. Like, I don't know.
I don't.
It's not like he
I
has
honestly.
money. She has nothing to gain financially from him.
I don't. I really don't know what she wants. And then she said she needed money, but I'm like, does she need money? I'm thinking she probably doesn't, but just fucking with Peter, I don't know. I think she just likes to fuck with people. Honestly, I
uh,
do. Like I don't see because she's paying Joe to work for them. How's she
yeah.
paying for that when she needs money? Like it doesn't make any sense.
Even Minx was kind of flirting with Joe.
Oh yeah, I know. I thought Mink. It was funny because I thought she was gonna have like the worst reaction. I thought she was gonna be like, "What's he doing here? Get him out! He's a killer!" You know. But she was, yeah. She totally. I didn't think she would, especially because she doesn't seem to like Augusta. So I thought she'd be like anything Augusta does, she would piss on.
Yeah.
But didn't go
Apparently
that
it's really
way.
hot out, and
Hmm.
Augusta demands that Joe put on Lionel, her husband's swim trunks, and go in the pool.
Yeah, this is where I saw the different side of Joe. I was like, he just ran and jumped in his jeans, and that was it. I'm like, okay, dude. That's why I thought it was a fantasy. I'm like, is she fantasizing this? Like,
Yeah,
because
and
it really seems like a fantasy.
when he popped out, he was kind of like between her legs while she sat at the edge of the
Yeah,
pool, and then they kissed.
yeah.
So
I was like, I
I
wanted it though, because
remember.
I felt it. I felt the chemistry between them this whole time, and I'm like, I want them to bang. I want them to do something. But I didn't think he would because he seems to be so obsessed with this fucking Kelly, and that's
Yeah,
what I mean. Like for him to kiss her, I was like, all right, now I'm really confused.
maybe he's like, it's been 5 years. I need to get some. Like, I don't know.
Get it, boy, get it. And then they kissed again in the house,
Yeah.
and I'm like, this is so weird. So she has a fuck boy. So I don't see
Oh
she.
yeah, pretty much.
I don't think she'd want to get rid of him.
So the shallow side of me was kind of hoping he would change into Lionel swim trunks and they would be speedos like Ridge Forrester.
Yeah. Well, we saw him in the morning. I did make note. Remember
Oh
with
yeah, very briefly. He like sleeps. He sleeps in like his trunks. Like, well, they weren't swim trunks, but they were.
I think they were swim trunks. I think we were supposed to think that they were underwear, but I honestly think they were swim trunks because I looked carefully. I'm looking at the package and I'm like, I guess because, maybe some underwear you couldn't wear back then, like you could see more. I don't know.
Yeah. Um. So just rewinding a little bit, Cruz showed up at the Capitol mansion and he seemed fine. He saw Santana, he kissed her hand, and then he immediately like fainted. I don't know if he had like smoke inhalation or he just like the impact of everything.
Yeah,
His adrenaline was
probably.
going and he just passed out. So he ends up at the hospital. Everybody goes to visit him, literally everybody.
Everybody. Yep. That's how
um,
I'm like, everybody loves this guy before he saved the world or whatever, saved the oil rig. Mhm.
and Cece insists that he recover at the mansion. So he's staying at the mansion. Um, I feel like I know Renee Jones doesn't stay on forever, but like I feel like she's on more than IMDb credits her for. We say like
Yeah,
8
right.
episodes. I feel like she's been in 15.
Yeah, she's around. I like seeing her though.
I
And
mean, I'm
she's
not mad at
Lexi.
it. Say as long as you want, girl. Like I love seeing you.
And she's still Lexi. And she's a Lexi character, pretty much.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
I mean, we're being told that she's Kelly's best friend.
Mhm.
So I wonder if that means anything and she'll stick around or if they recast because I know that they
Recast.
recast
Yeah.
everybody, but like or if she just
Yeah.
disappears.
Yeah. I know. We'll see. We'll see.
um so yeah, going back to the kids in Hollywood. Um
Three's Company.
so the woman says her stage name was Peaches and
Uh,
this you probably don't know this because you haven't seen it. But Shane Donovan on Days has an ISA agent that's an older woman and her ISA code name is Peach. So when she said
oh, really?
peaches, I kept thinking about Peach on Days.
You're like, Peach.
Um, she offers to teach Jade how to fan dance to give the illusion that she's naked.
I never heard of fan dancing. I get it now, but I didn't remember that was a thing. It was like, and
I've
they compared it to
seen
like a
it.
stripper.
Yeah, I've
They're like
seen
that.
it. It feels like burlesque almost, like a version of
Okay,
burlesque.
so that makes sense.
Um, yeah, I feel like it's a very Vegas thing,
Yeah.
but she was a cute older lady. Um,
Yeah. When did Peaches come in? I forget. Episode.
uh, 12 or
Oh,
13. It was like midweek.
I thought I had notes on her, but I can't seem to find them.
um, am I forgetting anybody?
Oh, her name was Peaches Delight.
Oh, Peaches
So
Delight.
I knew I wanted to. I made note of that last name. I'm like, I have to say the Delight
Yeah,
part. It was
I
funny.
know. When I said Peaches, I was like, I feel like it's a little bit longer than that, but we'll just say Peaches.
Yeah, right.
um, so Dominic is able to tell Joe how to disarm the alarm so he could try again.
Yeah,
And he does. He gets into the house and um Cruz hears somebody out in the hall and he like yells who's there, but he's still a little out of it. Like he can't like rush to see who it is. So he's like on the bed, like kind of like trying to compose himself. Um and it looks like Joe gets in. We didn't see him go in, but we saw the knob turn and the alarm
yeah.
didn't go off.
I was guessing, and I feel like, um, oh, what's his name? Cruz would like help him. He was all a bit. He was fighting with everybody in that last episode too. He fought with CC. He's like, Joe's my friend. I know he would never do this. And this is how I feel Kelly should have handled this. Like Kelly really think or seems to think. I don't know if she's like fooling herself. I don't know what her deal is, but
Well,
she
'cause
seems to think
she walked into the office and found Joe over the body with the murder weapon. So that's why
right.
she's like adamant that he's the one.
Well, that happened in one of the primetime soaps, Saints and Sinners, and that girl believed her man. Just saying.
You're like, come on, Kelly. Do you love him?
Yeah, I'm like, that's what I'm saying. Like, do you really like if you're in love with your man, do you really think he'd kill your brother? Like, I don't know. And she really seems to think that. So I'm like, whatever. I don't know how
Um,
Joe would want to be with her. I'd be like, fuck you. I didn't do it, and I'm gonna prove it, and then I'm gonna laugh in your face.
so the wrench thrown into the situation, I think, I didn't make this up, right? Augusta made a phone call that he was trying to break in. So I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Do you want to fuck him or
That's what
not?
I'm.
Like, what are you
I
doing?
know. I know. She said, someone's sneaking over the wall. And then he's like, who is this? And then I guess she hung up.
Yeah, right. See, I just don't know what to think.
Me neither. That's what I'm saying. Like, I have no idea. Because, like, I feel like she's, like, convincing me. Like, she's like, oh, I'm going to help you. And then next thing she's doing this shit. And I'm like, what's happening?
Right.
That's what I'm saying. I think she just likes to stir shit up. Like, she's just like, I just want to fuck with these people. I
I think
feel, unless,
we're getting to around the part where I stopped watching because I do
okay,
remember a little bit more of Augusta and Joe, and then I think I stopped
okay.
watching. So,
I don't know
and
how
I
you could
think
stop
I
watching.
remember
That was too
Lionel
much.
coming home. I think
Oh, okay.
so. I think he's coming soon.
Or you just can feel it.
Feel it. I feel it in my bones.
How is it gonna happen? We did have Joe's douchey dad came home and
Oh yeah, I
and
remember
like
thinking I was like Eric hates you. Like every time I see him, I'm like Eric's so weird right now.
and Joe said, "You're so bitter." Like, he really is.
Yeah,
And he says, and he's like, I don't know. He's so adamant. Like he's the same way. Like I feel like if I'm a father, like I'm gonna believe my kid even if it's proven guilty, like, and my kid is saying they didn't do it, like, I feel like I'd be like, my kid didn't do it. Like, if he's saying he didn't do it, he didn't do it. And he fucking came back here. Like, I don't, even Joe was saying that. And I'm like, this fucking guy, like, I want him to just go away. Go
yeah.
away, dude. Fuck that guy. And like I hope when they do find out, I hope he's a dickhead to his dad. I'd be like, fuck you, dad. I'm disowning you.
So during the conversation with Peter and Augusta, I feel like they've like lightly mentioned this, but I didn't. I thought maybe I heard it wrong. But during the conversation, we find out that Kelly was actually a student of Peter's
Yeah.
because she's like, "Did you ask her to stay after hours? Come to your office?" And I'm like, "This feels very cringy. Was he like sleeping with his students?" Like,
Probably. That's what I got that. I figured that
he
for
doesn't look
sure.
that much older than Kelly or
No,
Joe.
he's not. So it's probably not like I mean, you shouldn't do that, but
You shouldn't do that, and also like they're underage if you're a
right, right.
teacher.
Well, in college, it might be like, I mean, if they're between like 18 and he's like 22, it's probably not terrible. But you
Yeah,
shouldn't sleep with your students either way. It's like a thing.
yeah.
You don't sleep with your students.
Um, I think that's all I have. Cruz was pretty much laid up. He was only in like
Yeah,
2 or 3 episodes.
I feel like he was in all of them. But they were just like kind of spotting them here and there because I thought
Oh,
he came
maybe.
on pretty strong. Yeah,
Yeah, I
because
feel like he came on in
everybody
that one
visited him.
episode, and then he was gone for like 2 episodes, and then he was back.
When remember everybody visited him in the hospital, and then like he got out of the hospital, and everybody visited him at the Capwell's house. And like I said, oh, he fought with Mason. We didn't mention Mason, I don't think, did we?
Yeah.
Mason didn't do too much. He
No,
was just
he's just
like,
very suspicious of like what's going on between Santana and his dad.
yeah. He didn't seem to like Cruz and like with Santana. Like I think he got a little something off of that. He was like, I don't like this.
He's probably like,
I don't
why
like
does she
what's
want to be
going
with
on
everybody but me?
here. I know. Poor Mason. Um, yeah, we didn't see what else. Yeah, we covered Three's Company. That's all they really did. And I guess she's gonna probably get involved with porn. Oh, what
Three's.
happened? Oh, I guess no. Um,
I kind of want them just to come home. I want them to be more involved with the rest of the cast.
I brought this up. Danny's dad visited Cruz, and he mentions a Gabriella and Olivia. Is Gabriella the wife? What's the wife's name?
Yes, I remember that. He mentioned like other siblings, other children.
Yeah. So I guess we're gonna
Because he
meet
said
them.
Santana's out of the house. So I'm
Right.
wondering if this is another situation where we mention siblings that we haven't seen or we don't see until like
I like how
years later.
everybody's name ends with an A. Olivia, Gabriella, Santana.
Well, so the running joke when I first started covering Sunset Beach was for um the actress that played Gabrielle. No, we'll just say Gabby because I don't know if it's Gabrielle or Gabriella, but Gabby was in the credits since the very first episode, but she didn't show up for like the 2 months. We're like, when is
Oh,
this girl
really?
going to show up?
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah,
Who was it? Priscilla Garita? Is that what
yeah,
her name was?
yeah. She was in the credits from like episode 1, but she didn't show up for like two
I
months.
remember her. She reminded me of Charlotte from Sex and the City.
I can see
Um,
that.
Kristen Davis.
You know,
Um,
she was supposed to be on Titans.
I feel like I did know that.
She was in the original pilot, and then they recasted it.
I think I remember seeing that back then. I mean, it was what, 2000? Because I knew Sunset Beach and I watched a few months of it and I watched different storylines, but I didn't watch like the whole thing.
Yeah.
Um, so and then what's her name? Santana's dad also said she should be married by now, and I'm like, that's kind of fucked up. What if she don't want to get married? That's like the old school way of thinking, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
I don't
Um,
know.
at one point, Kelly says to Peter she wants to move to New York and start over, get away from all this. But
Yeah.
Peter doesn't want to do that. He just got a new job. He got a new car. He doesn't want to do that.
Yeah, right. Did we mention when Seymour went to the apartment?
No, he didn't. So, the pimp, the guy that we think is a pimp,
Yeah,
basically like stormed the door, and
yeah,
Ted and Danny basically say we're your agents or whatever,
yeah. We're your
we're
managers.
your managers.
Yeah. And he gives them a card, and they all jump back because I guess they thought he was pulling a gun. He's like, and they're all like, ah. I thought
And he
that was
basically
funny.
says, if you ever want to upgrade or be in the big leagues, give me a call.
I wonder if that's it with Seymour. I feel like it's not, but I
This
don't know.
doesn't seem
Maybe there's just
this doesn't seem like a safe neighborhood.
right. And I almost feel like I guess this is what the Three's Company storyline is going to be is just like random things happening at a time. Like it's not like a consistent story. They like have Peaches with this fan shit. Now they have Jade going into porn. Like it just feels like there's so many different things happening.
Yeah, I don't really know what happens with that. I never actually got to see them come back home. So maybe the porn thing will be like the last straw, and Jade will be like, I can't be in Hollywood, it's too dangerous, and she comes home.
Well, the summer is almost over, really. I mean, we're 3 weeks in, right? So it's like
Yeah.
mid-August.
And if they're going by real time, I think they said 5 weeks when they were like debating
Yeah,
if they should the parents if they should let Danny go. They're like, it's just 5 weeks.
right.
So maybe. That's all I got.
I'm looking. Yeah, I feel like that's all that like the major stuff that happened. And then I don't know how I feel about yeah, Santana's gonna do that, I guess like kill Cece with kindness type thing, like to what though? I guess maybe to have access to find out more about her son. I don't know. I don't know what her exact plan is.
At one point, I think she was sitting in Cece's office, and he had like his briefcase open, and I guess they were on good terms now. And he walked away, and she was like reaching to go like start sifting through things, and her mother came up behind her and was like, "Don't do it," and she was like, "Do
Like fuck off, mom.
it."
Yeah.
I thought that was
Yeah,
funny.
and I don't know. I'm not like I love Robin Wright as Kelly, but I'm not really liking Kelly as a character. I think she's an asshole, to be honest with you.
I kind of need more story movement. I feel like the first week everything was moving so quick, and now we've kind of
Yeah,
slowed down, and I
we
just need
did for
things to
sure.
like start happening. I just need a little push.
Yeah, well, I guess, we still have like a good amount of time before we get to November sweeps. There's always big things that happen then. So I'm
That's true.
guessing, but we still have like what, 6 weeks to go? Or no, we got more than that, October.
Yeah,
So
because
like
this is only
10
three.
weeks.
This is only 3 weeks.
We got this.
But
But
all
yeah,
right, if you don't have anything else to add, I guess we can wrap it up.
yeah, that's all I got.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us for another edition of Queers and Soaps, Santa Barbara. As always, you can find us on all the socials at Queers and Soaps. And until next time, have a great night. Bye.
Bye.